Hello, everybody. Welcome to Take 5. My name is Ron Vecchia, and joining me today is Mike Scrima. That's correct pronunciation? I hope,
Or
Mike?
Scrima, if you want to be Italian
Scrima?
about it. Yeah.
Scrima.
Yep.
Okay. Mike is a teacher and a musician from Revere, and he has an interesting story about a group that he put together with some other teachers. Mike, first of all, why don't you give us a little bio, a little background of yourself and the fact that you are a teacher and where you taught, or where are you teaching right now?
Right now I teach at Onset School of Music in Wakefield. And I taught before at School of Rock in Watertown, starting, I think that was like 2007, about October or so. And I've subbed at the Lynn branch that they have too. I mean, School of Rock is all over the place. I'm actually still an investor there, but right now I'm just teaching at Onset in Wakefield.
So what is School of Rock, for people that don't know?
Well, it's a performance-based program for kids, and they have an adult program too, so occasionally the adult group plays out. But basically they have a lesson every week, and then at the end of the week there'll be a set of rehearsals that are gearing up for a seasonal show, which have themes. Some of the ones I directed were like the 90s show, Women That Rock. I think of some other ones. I think I did U2, Metallica, just all these themes that we have like seasonally. And the kids are geared towards that because we want to have sort of deadlines for them learning something, so it sort of, kicks them along. It isn't just like a weekly, whatever lesson.
Now, is the School of Rock, is it something that's in the public schools, or is it something separate?
Oh, it's something separate, yeah. I mean, there is tuition involved. It's a franchise. And in the Boston area, the Lynn and the Watertown branches are the ones I have experience in, but they're all over. They're international. I mean, I think there's some in like Mexico and Canada now.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, for kids to get involved, do they have to pay, or is there a tuition? So
yeah, but there are levels of
depending on
how
their
you want to get
incomes?
involved. Yeah, because they even have this Rock 101 program for complete beginners, and it's just the lessons. It's just a bunch of kids getting together to get the experience of playing with other kids. And then they just, go from there, and they can, move on to the other programs if they want.
Good. Good. So Force Us to Stop. Tell us about that. That's the name of your group.
Yes. I actually started that in 2010 while I was still at School of Rock. And it's really the result of the bands that I used to be in. There was that pattern of, you form a bunch of guys. Well, not form a bunch of guys. You form a group with a bunch of guys. And you basically play out, try to have a goal, and then one guy decides like, oh, I want to do something else, and then you try to replace him, and then you realize like he wrote some of the material, so now you got to rewrite those parts, and it just becomes a mess after a while. So in order for, even just business-minded, in order for something to go somewhere, you want to keep, having that same name and idea and aesthetic so that, you can build something instead of constantly switching groups, because you're never going to get anywhere that way. So what I did was I just formed Force Us to Stop to sort of involve that rotating staff of people. So we have 4 recorded songs so far, and we're about to do a 5th one. But each of those songs has a different guitarist and bass player. Right now I'm playing drums, and I sing and play keyboard for the group.
So each one of them knows the music. So whoever's available at that particular time, you'll have that continuity, so to speak.
Yes, right. So it's just a matter of, who's free. And, I could call on somebody who maybe wasn't free on the last thing, but now they are. So it's just, like I said, it's the faculty. I can just call whoever and see, who's
So
free.
how many teachers basically do you have
so far
lined up with your group?
I think it's 7 so far.
Really?
And, that's not the full faculty of each school, obviously. But even some of them I wouldn't call on just because they play the same things I do, or, it's an instrument like a saxophone that I haven't quite written for yet.
Right.
So.
Now, where do you guys perform? Do you perform in regular clubs? Or?
Well, we're about to play the Boston Arts Festival in September. That's September 10th in Christopher Columbus Waterfront Park.
East Boston? No, that's in the
North End. Yes. And for that, it's just, I have a guitarist so far. I'm just trying to like get the other guys to commit right now.
How many in the band do you
When we
usually
perform, it's 4.
have? It's 4. Okay. And the instruments are?
Guitar, bass, drums, vocals, keyboard.
Okay. And you do just about everything?
Except I can't play guitar for the life of me. I'm terrible.
Really?
I play a little bass, but not good enough to like put myself on the recordings.
Okay.
I understand the physics of guitar and bass, so when I write for those instruments, it's based on that. It's not just from a keyboardist's perspective or something. So,
Now, when you teach in school, do you teach instruments or do you teach music in general?
it's both.
In both?
Yeah, because they do stress that we need to throw in some theory now and then, just so that they have that that sort of palette to go to. But it is through that instrument that we teach it. So whatever that person signed up for.
We've gone through a lot in the town of Winthrop over the years. Some maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago, they really downsized music in the system.
Oh, I know, it's terrible.
And
yeah.
but I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a big push. There was actually a young lady who graduated last year, Kelly Russo, and she was a student, and she took it upon herself to start the wheels rolling, do some fundraising and so forth, and she formed a group called Music Matters.
Nice.
And what they did was fundraise, and all of a sudden the school department got money, and things have changed over the last couple of years. We have a new superintendent. The financial situation changed in the town, so music is back big time. I attended the Arthur T. Cummings school. They have this advanced band. These kids have only been playing about 2.5 years, and I swear they sound just as good as the high school band that graduated with me.
Is it jazz based? Or?
It's a regular full band.
Nice.
You know,
Yeah.
when I tell you they fill the stage, that's how many kids, and it's kind of heartwarming to see the whole thing transpire. And thank God my grandkids are involved in it. And it's, to me, I think music is so important. You know, it's part of a person. It seems to be a natural progression of learning to learn music. And I know students that are involved in music, they're better in math and so forth because of, you know.
Right. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So-
But as much as you make the argument, it still gets to be the first thing that's cut. When,
Yep.
you know, something has to be cut. It's terrible.
Not in Winthrop anymore. It's got priority.
That's good.
So tell me about this the video that we're going to see.
This is just something I shot a few years back, and I'm a real big fan of Christopher Nolan movies. And you know, coming up with an idea for a video is that's not really my thing. So I just figured, why not model it after this particular movie, Memento. And I really like that movie a lot. It took me only like 2 days to shoot, but I was like sort of waiting for night for some of the scenes, you know. So it was really just, I probably could have got it done in 1 day. It's an amateur video, you know. I don't really know anything about filming. I just kind of threw it together to have something. I think videos are kind of like, you know how like if you have a dog and you're trying to make it take a pill and you have to like wrap cheese around it? It's like the pill is the song and that cheese is the video, because it's like, it's not what you're supposed to be doing
Right.
in the end. It's just something that, you know, makes it a little easier for people to accept something new, I guess. But you know, whatever, you can have fun with it still. So.
All right. Well, let's take a look at it. Okay, so there's a Braille bandage. Explain that to me.
In the movie, he's coming up with different ways to remind himself. I don't know if you know the premise of the movie. It's
No, I don't.
basically just that his wife was murdered, and he was concussed or something, and he has this sort of short-term amnesia. So he can't remember anything that's like within even the past 10 minutes. So he tattoos stuff on his body. He comes up with all these different ways to try to remind himself. So he carries around like a Polaroid camera because those are instant and right there. So I, at the end, just figured like, why don't I try to come up with my own ways of like little things that would remind myself about the lyric. I mean, I took a little bit of some liberty in terms of like what I'm trying to remind myself of. But yeah, just Braille was just another thing that you could do because you figure like if you're holding a mic, your fingers are holding that area. You don't actually have to look at lyrics. You can just feel. You know, I can't read Braille though. That was just, you know.
So that was you singing?
Yes.
Okay. Was that the full band or everybody?
Just two people.
Two people.
Yeah, it was myself and a guitar and bass teacher named Bassam Habal, and he's actually since moved on to California. So I actually don't have access to him in the performance band anymore. But he did a great job on that song. Yeah.
Now, do you have plans on making other videos? I know you're not too crazy about your video techniques.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I keep learning and it gets a little bit better. But I think for
You can come and take a class here, WCAT.
yeah, I was going to say if I did another one, I would want probably pro hands on it, not my own, and just do this, have the song in it, and that's it. Whoever can do what they can, that'd be nice. But I do want to get another one for this new set of songs I'm writing because the sound is changing up a little bit because whereas the old stuff was kind of straight ahead rock, this is a little bit like Celtic rock that I'm writing right now. And I'm sure that's going to be temporary too because I keep kind of going through phases of different stuff, you know, that I write. I mean, I enjoy a lot of different styles of music. There are some styles that I can't get into, but
Right. Now, do you've produced 4 songs so far? And are they available for if people wanted to purchase them or hear them?
yes, it's on forceustostop.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
And you can listen to them, stream them, and then you can have the option of purchasing them, and they give you whatever format you want when you purchase, because it's not just MP3s. You can get the waves, whatever format you want.
Cool.
And then, like I said, I'm about to do another one, probably in a month or two.
Okay. Where's that gig you mentioned? It was in the North End, and when is that again?
September 10th, with
September
a rain
10th.
date of September 11th. So it's Saturday or Sunday if it rains.
Anything else happening in the future?
Besides recording in that show, nothing right now. I'm just trying to, do the small promotions here and there like this, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much for this, because every little bit counts, because there's just so much out there that people are bombarded with. So,
Well, people in Winthrop will see this on Comcast, and we also, as you probably know, we put it on YouTube
yes,
as well.
thank
All
you
right.
very much.
We've been speaking with Mike Scrima,
Thank you.
a teacher and musician from Revere, talking about his group and some of the things that he's been doing. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thank
on
you,
Take
Ron.
5.
Thanks.